Okay. So I'm just waiting for few more students to join, and then I will be able to start today's class. I have already shared the agenda for today's class with you all. So I hope so. You all must have gone through the agenda. Our first agenda will be to go through some of the most important exam tips, and then we'll be moving towards the other factors. There are many factors that the SBL examiner would want you all to depict in your real base examination. So my preference of doing this last 5 days revision workshop will be, rather than going into the details of the topic, I will be going through some of the most important aspects of how to clear your examination. Right. Um, at the end, one more disclaimer I would want to give to each and every one of you. If we face any connectivity issue, because there is some connectivity issue at our institute level right now, if we face any connectivity issue, then I will provide you recording for the day. Right, I have already made a recording of this workshop. I will be providing a recording if we face any sort of connectivity issue. But I hope so that the connection remains stable and we can, move forward very smoothly. I'm just waiting for 2 to 3 more minutes so that everyone of you can join, and then we can start. Before that, if you have any question, there is a chat option right now given in front of you. You can use this chat option during this entire 5 days workshop. I have three different handouts to show you. I will be sharing three different handouts with you all. And all these three different handouts are very carefully drafted in order to help you out in clearing your examination. Still, the protocol of going through these 5 days workshop will be that you can ask question. But once I have done, right, we will be having a question answer session at the end of every day. Even you can ask questions in between by using. Can you share them on the WhatsApp group? Yes, I will be sharing. I will be showcasing them on my screen, and I will be sharing them on the WhatsApp group as well. Don't worry. I'll be sharing each and every handout on the WhatsApp groups so that you can have an access of all these handouts. Plus, along with this, there are certain questions that I would want you all to do. This time, I have encouraged every one of you, all my regular students, all my online students, to kindly solve as many SBL examinations as possible. I have been correcting the answer scripts of many of my students, so I request everyone who is there in this workshop as well to kindly send me at least one of your answer script of SBL so that I can provide a detailed analysis of how well or bad you have performed in your real time examination. Let's now start, and let me show you my handout, and we'll be moving forward. Still, I guess there are some students who are joining, so I hope so that we can still wait for 1 or 2 more minutes. If you have any question before the start of this workshop, you can please pose these question on the chat option. Yes, Bisal, I'm sharing this with the official and the unofficial groups. हाँ भाई हालात सही हैं. Oops, sorry. Yes, I will be solving full-fledged questions with you all. I hope so. Yes, Faraj, I guess you have a question. Kindly write your question in the chat option so I am able to answer your question. Smile. Okay. Chalo, let's start now. Let's just quickly go through the handouts. I hope so you can see my handout in front of you. Let's just quickly start. Right. Let's just quickly start. I'm sharing the handouts. If you guys have any question till now, you can ask me and then we'll move forward. Okay, so I welcome you all in the practice to pass session of SBL for June 2022 attempt. And my name is Sheikh Bilal Haque. I have been teaching this subject since way too long now. And now, Time spelling the cycle. Acha. Let's move forward. So, again, I welcome you all. Today's objective is to look at the past rates and just to give you a confidence of how this this workshop is going to move forward. You can see very easily that we look at some of the past examination numbers. Objective of the workshop is to make you guys successful in this examination. You know it very well that majority of you must be having this exam as your last exam, and many of you must be having this examination as your first professional examination. Irrespective of the fact that if you have this exam as your first or the last, or any paper in between your professional let's suppose examinations, still the only thing that we need to think about is right now that we are just left with last 2 weeks, or to be more precise, we are left with 14 days, right? So, thank you. No, my brother. We are just left with last 14 days. So, this means that last 14 days we'll be working upon each and everything, and we need to have a very quick revision, or I may call it as we need to go for some smart study tips rather than going for some hard work. So, this paper has been one of the most favorite papers of examiners. Most precisely, if I say that the passing ratio of this paper is tremendously high in comparison to all the papers regarding all the papers in the professional part of ACCA. So you can assume that the passing rate of this paper is very high. Comparatively, if you can see this chart, you can easily go through the passing rate. So this means that 51% or 50% on an average students are clearing this examination very easily. This means that you have a very clear chance of passing this exam. This time, maybe, and those who were not able to clear it last time. So you have a very fair chance of clearing this exam. Remember, this is your last attempt right now. You have to clear it at any cost. Now, what we will do is that you know the syllabus content. We have already gone through these syllabus areas, that is leadership, governance, risk, technology, financial planning, organization. In this, we have gone through the NPV, IRR, and all other related topics, enable success and change management, Belgian change model, organization culture and control, technological risk.
So there are different areas of the syllabus that we have already, or you guys must have already gone through in your regular courses or regular classes or with your regular teachers as well. So the paper format, you know it very well, but I'm just giving you a quick revision of what the paper format basically looks like. It states that the strategic business leader is a case study exam of 4 hours, including reading and planning and reflection time, which can be used flexibly within the examination. So my piece of advice, as always, I say is that you need to use this time very carefully, and you must. A good student must be completing his reading, reflecting, and let's suppose the filtration time within 45 to 60 minutes. You will not be investing more than 45 to 60 minutes in reading out the entire set of paper, because if you are a good reader, if you are a good reflector, then you will be a good writer as well. If you are reading and reflecting your paper in a very perfect manner, you will be able to clear and write your examination in a perfect manner as well. So this is the game of reflection. This is the game of retention as well. So in order to retain, you need to have some smart choices. For example, you need to highlight during the examination. You need to have your scratch pad working over there. You need to use your scratch pad. As I have given advice in my regular classes, I'm repeating the same advice once again for all those students who have currently joined us. You will be highlighting all those pointers that is important information regarding the company. For example, if it says that the company is a public limited company, you are going to highlight. If, for example, if it says that the CEO of the company is a family, is a CEO position is within the family, you are going to highlight. For example, if they say that there are 3 NADs and 4 EDs, you're going to highlight. But all financial information and all other related information which you will be using in your answering should be kept separately in the scratch pad, or what you can do is you can use the WordPress option in which you can keep all the rough work material over there. So that is going to help you when you are writing the answer or when you are formulating your answer. It's basically going to help you in this regard. Then it says so strategic business leader is an exam based on our one main business scenario. Now you can get any form of industry. You might be getting a medical industry. You might get a service industry. You may get let's suppose manufacturing, car manufacturing industry, hospitality industry, service sector, courier industry, audit firm. Any form of industry will be there. But it is not necessary that you should have some prior information regarding that industry. For example, if I do not know what let's suppose the IT industry working methodology is, or if I'm unaware of what IT industry is, I should never ever be having any prior knowledge. It is okay if I'm not having any prior knowledge regarding an industry. What you can do is you just need to pick and choose the scenario. Thank you. You just need to pick and choose the scenario from the, you can just need to pick and choose the answer from the given scenario. If you can pick the right answer from the scenario, you will be in a better position to answer or formulate your answers and be able to clear the rhyme, right? Then it says all questions are compulsory. You know it very well that there is 80% part and then there is a 20% part. The remaining, the 80% part basically relates to the previous slide that I have shown you over here. This is the basic 80% part, but to your utmost surprise, many of you must be unaware about this 20% part. Remember, this 20% part contains three different areas. Number one, the professional marks, those five professional skills. That is communication skill, business acumen, evaluation, analysis, and skepticism. Those five skills will help you in gaining 20% marks, but they alone cannot do any specific miracle. What you need to do, you need to formulate those five skills in the stated formats. If your format is wrong, but your tone is right, you're not going to gain marks. If your format is right, but your tone is wrong, you're not going to gain marks. Again, if you are not writing the answer in the stated format, plus if you are not writing the answer in the given professional mark, or let's suppose you are using more than one professional skills to formulate your answer, that is also acceptable according to the examiner's comment. I have shown my regular students the examiner comments of last attempt, in which it says that, let's suppose if the examiner is saying that you need to use the business acumen skill, and apart from the fact that you are using business acumen skill, Along with this, you are also using the communication skill. That is equally good. No issues in that. You are going to gain 100% marks. But if it says that you need to showcase business acumen skill and you are showcasing only communication, skepticism, and all other skill, but not business acumen, you're not going to gain any sort of mark. So the main skill should be there, but voluntarily you can show all other skills in between. So that will help you to formulate your answer in a better manner, right? Moving forward, it says some of the key aspects, 4 hours, how to get about utilizing it in an effective manner. For my regular students, I have done this exercise, but for the students who are right now who have right now joined with us, or the students who have studied from other sources, you can basically relate to one of my methodology of using this 4 hour examination time. See, the most important thing is those 3 hours of writing the exam. Ultimately, if you invest more time in reading and less time in writing, you're not going to gain marks. In order to gain marks, in order to gain marks, you need to invest more time on writing rather than on reading, right? It says 4 hours, how to go about utilizing it in an effective manner. How will you be utilizing those 4 hours in effective manner? One scenario, a lot of reading, retention, and utilization. Sir, if there are 4 marks available, then complete 4 marks would be deducted for not showcasing business acumen. Yes. If there are 4 marks available, and if you are not showcasing business acumen, complete 4 marks will be deducted. You will not be gaining any sort of mark, not even a single marks if you are not showcasing the business. See, it's not an isolation. Again, if you are showcasing the format correctly, but not the professional skill, you will not get any marks. If you are showcasing the professional skills correctly and not the format, you're not going to get any marks of professional. So these are always the cash marks. I have been chanting this again and again. These are cash marks. You can easily get them. They are just kept in the paper. You need to get 30% extra marks on these cash marks. A student can easily secure 18, 17 to 18 marks out of 20 if you showcase those skills perfectly. It is just how you are writing. Your writing methodology will showcase these 20% marks. If you are writing it well, and not showcasing these 20% marks. Let's suppose if you know the technical knowledge, but you are not showing these 20% 5 skill marks or the stated format, you're not going to gain any marks in this 20% area. So again, it says 80% technical marks. That's pretty simple as you do it in other exams as well. Each and every exam up till now, all those students who have given at least 9 to 10 papers till now must be using these technical skills in every set of paper. But this is something new, and to your utmost surprise, from forthcoming attempts, these 20% marks will be the part of every single examination of professional module. This means from September 2023, every professional module is going to include these, every professional paper is going to include these 20% marks. IH, SBR, it's AFM, it's ATX, it's any other subject. All professional skill subjects, all professional module subjects will be having these 20% marks. So this means that ACCA is more inclined towards these marks. Right now, you guys are fortunate enough that you will be utilizing these 20% marks for the first time in the entire professional series. But for other subjects as well, ACCA is including these marks. 20% professional marks, that's really important because expecting to pass SBL scoring 0 professional marks, I have written a very moderate or a very considerate word of being it difficult, but I guess it's not difficult, it's impossible. So you cannot score 50% out of 80% marks. It's humanly impossible because those 80% marks will again constitute, those 80% marks are again not in isolation. In order to gain those 80% marks, you need to show them in the stated professional formats and in the stated professional skills. Again, moving forward, it says 4 hours recommended time management. Again, I have written over here that you will be investing 40 to 60 minutes in the reading and planning time, and you will be investing the remaining time in the writing. Again, you can take it from 45 to 60. You can make it either 50 to 60. It depends. Your maximum limit is 60. But remember one thing: if a student is coming out and if he's saying, "Sir, I invested 20 minutes and I read out the entire paper, and the remaining all minutes were invested in writing the examination," the first thing that comes into my mind is that this student might fail. Why? Because your reading was not effective. Your reflective time was not effective. The time that you must have invested. See, this is the base of this paper. Until unless you are not making those pillars, the entire structure of the building is not going to be strong enough to make you clear the line. If you are making that base to be strong, you need to invest safe side 40 to 60. The biggest problem that I face right now among students is that they are, after doing their examination, they call me and say, "Sir, I invested only 30 minutes in reading the entire paper. The paper was so small or short examination. The examiner must have given a small amount of information and I was able to read it within 30 minutes. It was a catch. If you are able to read it in 30 minutes, this means that there was something in between the lines that you should have done within that reading time. You are investing a very small amount of time in reading, which is highly prohibited. You should invest at least 40 to 60. Now, this does not mean that after you have read the entire paper in 30 minutes, you start lingering around because sir said that you need to invest 40 minutes, so I can waste 10 more minutes and then I'll start writing. This means investment of 40 minutes being very effective. It's an effective investment, not only an investment which is going to gain you the time, and you are just going by the documentation that okay, sir said that you need to invest 40 to 60 minutes, but same is the case that I'm doing. You need to be very effective in the first hour. Your first hour is going to define your destiny of clearing this exam or not. Again, a first hour is going to define your destiny. Once you are done with the first hour, this means that you're going to clear this exam. If it was effective, your entire 3 hours are going to be effective. If it was ineffective, this means that you are going to see. The only reason why I see people failing in this examination is not covering the entire paper. They come out and say, "Sir, I was able to do 80% of the paper." Some blame me. So you told me to invest 60% of the time. I invested 60% of the time, and the remaining time was not enough to cover or to write the entire paper. That is something which is a very petty excuse that you are giving. Why? Because see, if you are investing 60%, it is stated and proven that all those students who have cleared their exam, they were able to write the entire examination in 240 or 280 minutes. So you can also do the same in easy and effective manner. But your first hour should be very, very effective. Moving forward, agenda for the workshop. SBL, approaching the SBL with 15 days to go. Now we only have 14 days to go. If I eliminate this day, we have 14 remaining days, or let's suppose 15 remaining days. And last 14 days are going to be very crucial. 5 days will be spent with me. Next 4 days after this day, next 4 days are going to be spent with me. So you need to be very effective. You need to start working on your past papers. You need to make them get corrected by me. See, until unless I am not correcting your past paper and you are first time going into the real examination and solving the examination paper, trust me, it is only a miracle that can make you pass this exam. It's only a miracle that is going to make you pass this exam. Because until unless if I am not correcting any sort of your paper, or if your tutor is not correcting your papers, this means that you are in a very, 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 very bad situation. You cannot judge your own paper by your own self. For example, if I am doing a work and if I say what best sort of work I have done in my entire life, this means that I cannot be my self corrector. You all must have gone through the self review threat. There is a bigger threat right now in front of you, and the threat is your paper. You need to make sure that you give me your answers to be corrected, and you know it very well that I have been correcting the answers that you give me. so that I can give you a very detailed review on your answers. Moving forward, there are some recent shut up. There are certain recent changes in the SBL examination. There are some recent changes in the syllabus as well. Key resources and libraries and how to use them. There are some key resources as well that we are going to use, and those key resources will also help us in passing our exam in an effective manner. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, करनी पड़ेगी. Okay, moving forward, moving forward. There is a small announcement. I might have to cancel the class due to some emergency. Not right now, but we can continue the class for next 15-20 minutes. But as an alternate, I will give you some recording for this day. Uh, let's hope that we can continue it for at least half an hour. Let's move forward. Okay, moving forward, please, please, please. Basically, there is an issue going on. So let's hope there's some political unrest going on. So for that reason, I might call it an off after half an hour because I have some students sitting in front of me and they need to reach back home. So, but I will give you an alternate recording for that, or maybe we can go for online class after an hour, maybe. But let's see what happens. Moving forward, so it says that there are certain recent changes in the SBL examination. You all are very well aware. Although this does not mean that the changes came in the last attempt, but these changes were also there previously. Key resources and library learning from the examiner's feedback, the most important factor of clearing this examination. This line is something which is it's something which I can call it as a miracle line. This can do wonders when you are studying for your exam. This can create you, or this can basically give you the basic outline of your failure or your success. This is something which is about. See, in SBL, there are two things: your answer script and examiner's feedback cumulatively are going to help you in passing your exam. Simple as that. Your answer corrected by me and examiner feedback. You have done a wonderful job. If both of these things are in your hands, trust me, there's no entity in this world that can make you fail in this exam. Again, acceptance. Gaining professional marks, a deep insight. We'll go through how professional marks are being gained. Gaining technical marks, a deep insight. Deep investigation on a case study on the practice platform. We'll go through one proper examination, and I will write in front of you. I'll read the entire exam that we'll be doing in our last day, in which I'll be keeping a class of 6 hours, in which I will read the entire paper and I will write the entire paper in front of. In my last class, that is Sunday, I'm going to read the entire past paper, one single past paper, and I am going to write the entire past paper so that you can know how to start and how to evaluate this answer. Then deep investigation of a case study on a practice platform and do's and don'ts. Most importantly, we are going to go through some of the do's and don'ts. So this is something I will be sharing this agenda with you all. Let's just quickly move forward of every single day. Why I have not written the agenda for the day 5? Because in day 5 we are going to solve one set of examination. So there is only one thing that we will be doing in our day 5. Approaching SBL, we are left with few days. Frequently asked question: what to do in the last 14 days ahead of SBL examination? How many past papers should I practice? Should I do kit? A big no for the kit, a big yes for the past paper. If you are going to go for next 14 days revision strategy, go for past paper, not the kit. What depth of book reading do I require? You guys know it very well. We never ever purchased any sort of book. I gave you my notes and you were able to clear those notes within the stated time. Is reading examiner article important? Yes, to some extent, but only those articles that I'll be giving you during this session. And how many mocks should I drill it out? There are 2 mocks that we are going to do at the end of the day, and you need to drill out those mocks. You need to score good marks in those mock examination. Moving ahead, need of a self appraisal. You need to self appraise yourself today. Where are you standing in terms of your exam preparation? How many of you feel confident enough that okay, you guys are have done a wonderful job and you are going to clear your exam in this? Yes. How many of you feel confident? At least you should have a good perception in your mind that okay, you can clear it easily. See, the confidence is like this, not like this. How many of you feel confident? I feel confident that I've taught you very well. So I guess okay. So I feel very confident. Yes, mock will be held after the 5th day. Only questions will be entertained in English language, right? So moving forward, you need to self-appraise yourself today. Where are you standing in terms of your exam preparation? So we are standing in a very well worse situation, and I hope so. We are going to clear this exam. New, new look ahead. You still have 14 days. Now look ahead. That is 2 weeks. How would you go about utilizing only past papers, and my notes? Simple as that. An examiner's comment. No, nothing more, nothing less. Next 5 days, my 5 days notes and the examination that I'm going to do, and every set of past paper. Make an agenda for every single day that you're going to attempt at least one past paper in 4 hours of proper examinable time. You're going to sit into your room, start your past paper, come out of your room after the 4 hours finish. No phone with you, only your laptop, and that too without having any WhatsApp web connection. Right? Consider your challenge, constraint, and obstacle. What challenges do you face? Yes, any one of you would want to contribute? What challenges do you face right now? Time management. Okay. Professional marks. Professional marks. Professional marks. Night time. Writing. Professional marks. Yes. Tone and quality. So these are your obstacles. You need to find out the answers of your obstacle and you'll be able to clear your exam. Professional marks plus initiating the answer. Online students can also contribute through the chat option. I'll be more than happy to reply you all. Good. Moving forward, look ahead, consider your challenge constraint. Sir, is it necessary to use certain models in our answer? Yes. If the answer clearly depicts that the model should be applied, a better approach, see, a student securing 80 and a student securing 50 will have only one difference, and that is a proper application of model. If you are applying the model correctly, trust me over the fact the examiner is going to give you some added competitive marks in comparison to a student who is writing a generic answer. Yes, but stated with the fact that even if you write a generic answer, you can clear the exam. However, a better chance of clearing will be the proper application of model. So yes, you need to learn these models thoroughly. It says the new look, consider your challenges, constraint, and obstacle. Set a timetable, divide it into 2 weeks, and assign priorities based on your self appraisal. I hope so. You all must be having your off weeks from this week, either, or maybe from the coming week from your offices. Now, if you have a entire full fledged day, divide your day into two different parts. The first part will be the revision of not more than 2 hours, and the second part should be for attempting your paper. Now choose a very suitable time of attempting, a time where you do not have any sort of work. See, attempting paper in 4 hours and attempting papers in chunks and pieces is a huge difference. Basically, you are not practicing. You are just making yourself a fool if you are attempting the paper in chunks and pieces of, let's suppose, 6 to 8 hours. You need to attempt the entire examination during practice session in 4 hours. If you are not attempting it, you are making yourself a big fool right now. Then it says, must remember more time on practice than you spend on reading and revising. Right study to approach knowledge, examining team articles, revision of the 4 key models and theories. Achha, one more thing. I will be sharing some of the most important models with you. I have made a message in which I'll be sharing some of the most important models. I'll be sharing some pictures regarding the entire SBL course revision in 4 to 5 pages, and you can go through them. I'll be sharing some of the most important notes. The new topic video have already been uploaded on my YouTube channel. I'll be sharing that video. I'll be sharing the notes of that video. I'll be sharing a presentation slide of the video. Make sure that you go through that video once and for all. Yes, I will be sharing on my WhatsApp group. There are many students who just want to have recordings, so I'll be providing you the recording on the official groups. Practice, practice, and practice. That's going to make you clear this exam. Again, practicing past papers on the practice platform is the only essential way of practicing. You are not going. It's a big no. You are not going to practice any sort of your exam on Word, on Microsoft Excel, on PowerPoint. You are just going to practice on the SBL, practice platform that has been provided from ACCS site. No other practice platforms should be used. Critically review the marking scheme. See, I can review. Obviously, my first priority is always the regular students of mine. I am reviewing the papers of my regular student, but for all other students, it's a promise that I'm going to review at least one SBL complete examinations of yours. But for the others, it is not always that you need to be dependent on your teacher to review the examination. yes, he should review at least one. But for the others, what you can do is you can go through your examiner's marking scheme. You can go through the examiner's comment. This is something which the examiners is basically talking to you. This is how the examiners communicate with you. You have a very stated way of communication with the examiners. Examiner would want to have these areas to be done by the examination team, or let's suppose the candidate, and this is how you can communicate directly to the examiner. Critically review the examiner's report. Most important thing that we'll be doing. I'll also make sure that, okay, examining team article. Now there are certain articles. I am sharing those articles with you right now so that you can easily go through them. I'm just sharing those articles with you. Just a minute. 28-page article. Just a minute. Okay, I'm going to share this article. I can't find it right now. I'm going to share these 28 page of articles. Although you can have this website as well. You can visit this website on which these articles are present. Should I read all of them? If not, then which ones? What benefit will I get reading with these articles? Remember, you just need to skim through these articles. These articles are going to give you some of the key words to be used in the examination. They are not the real time exams. They are going to give you some keywords which you can utilize, which you can use in your examination, and these keywords are going to help you in formulating your answer. So if any, let's suppose if you even remember 10% of these articles, you will be in a better position to formulate and write your answers effectively, right? The revision of the key models and theories. It is extremely important that you need to know the crux of each syllabus area very well. Number one, technical part should be perfect. If your technical knowledge is imperfect, you know how to write your answer, you know how to formulate, you know the formats, you're not going to gain any sort of marks. The main aspect should be on your fingers. There is no rote learning, there is no rote learning, there is again no rote learning, there is no rote learning in your syllabus. But you should know the main aspects of your syllabus, like key models. You should know what bulbs, sorry, you should know what the risk heat map states. You should know what do you mean by Mendelow's matrix model. You should know all sorts of models. You should know what is the basic theme behind the pestle model. What do you understand by the word sort models? How do you apply the process theories? What do you mean by the change management theories? All these models should be on your fingertips. So one way which I used to do when I was studying for my examination is just write all these models on a piece of paper and try to remember what these models are. Without looking at these notes, start writing each and every model that you remember, and then refer to the notes if you have written it well or not. Because if you are able to write those models on those pieces of paper without referring to the notes, this means that you have remembered those models and you will be able to depict those models in the real examinations as well. So do this exercise once and for all. What you can do is invest your 45 to 50 minutes, start writing each and every model that you remember, and then refer to all my notes. Once you are done, you will be able to identify if you remember these models or not. And those models which you had written incorrectly, then you can start rote learning or maybe learning those models again. But obviously, with after practice, you will be in a position to apply each and every model there. Not all important in the textbooks, not all is important in the textbook, but within each chapter or topic, there is something which is important to focus on, know them, and move towards your practice. So, practicing past papers on the ACCA platform, you need to use the practice platform for the 14 days. This is something which we have already gone through. I'm just quickly going through them, and I'm moving towards the second handout. Exam to gain the right confidence with the interface of the platform. if its features, commands, and to improve your efficiency before the actual CBE paper. On the practice platform, 5 actual exams and 3 specimens are available to you all. So there are 5 actual papers, 3 specimens. Apart from these 5 papers, you have around 4 more examination on the website of ACCA. So this means 9 exams, 3 specimen, 2 mock exams, even three practice questions. You have tremendous amount of stuff to do. You can easily clear this exam if you are going to go through these 5 examination papers, 3 specimen, and 4 additional papers that you have on your ACCA website. Moving forward, it says this is how the examination protocol or the examination preface looks like. You have these past papers, you have the blank workspace. You can go through them. You have already seen SBL CB practice platform overview. Log into the practice platform using your my. This is how you get into it. Go to the catalog, become familiar with the workspace. Let's move forward. I guess I do not need to go through all these details. You know it very well, right? Should I go through them or should I move forward? Okay. Let's move forward. Blank workspace overview and benefit. You can attempt any question from the revision kit or from past papers available to you in the PDF. You have my past paper books with you all. You can attempt any SBL examination from those books, from that specific book. The more you work on blank workspace, you will gain confidence of becoming. See, you need to be familiar with the interface of the ACCA exam. The real examination is also going to look like the same, because if in the first time, let's suppose you go into your examination room and you see a practice, or if you see the real examination preface, this it takes at least 10 to 15 minutes to get familiar to that practice or to that real examination platform. So right now what you need to do, you need to get familiar. That is the process of familiarization with your examination. It's not a conventional exam in which you have a paper and a pen to write. It's a non-conventional examination. Plus, it is non-conventional in the way that this is the first exam that is going to be for 4 goddamn hours. You need to have a very concentrative mind when you are attempting this exam. The more you work on the blank space to gain more confidence, you are becoming familiar with the workspace, its functionalities, and gain command and speed ahead of your exam. Blank workspace allow you to work on the word processor and spreadsheet along with the presentation side. Critically review the marking scheme. One of the most important advice that I can give to any of you right now. Examiner marking scheme is available at the end of the published answer. If you can see through my book of past papers, you can see that there are examiners marking scheme as well at the end. So you have a very good access of the marking scheme. Review latest examiner's answer for last 3 to 4 exam sitting. Review latest 3 to 4 examination answers. This means that you are first going to read the examination question. You are going to attempt it on your own. You are going to have the examiner answer being read by you. And then you are going to find out the variances in the answer. You all know what the word variance means. You're going to find out the variances between the answers. Okay, this is the answer that I have written, and this is the answer that was expected by the examiner from me. If your answer is up to the mark of what examiner was expecting, this means that you are going to gain good marks. You're going to clear. See, 51% examination means that 51% result means that examiner is willing to make you guys clear this exam. Right now, I have students all around the world. So this means that 51 is a real depiction of the sample size that I have taken. You can also clear this exam, but with the help of examiner's comment. A marking scheme, know how it is mostly ignored by the student. How many of you have read the marking scheme in your regular courses? We have read the marking scheme in our last class as well. But the students who are outsiders, have you ever read the marking scheme of SBL exam? See, a student coming to me, sir, I have never ever read the marking scheme in entire life of ACCA, and this is the first time I am reading the marking scheme. What's the point of reading it out? See, this is how you communicate with the exam. You are giving the expectation, or you're working for the expectation of the examiner, and you do not know what the expectation is. And this means that you have just thrown an arrow in the air, and you feel like that it can go into the into the right space. So it's not humanly possible. So it says marking scheme is something which is normally ignored by the individual. Critically review the examiner's report. Examiner report are available on the SBL web page, hyperlink as well. You should read at least last 4 examiners report available to identify the general reasons for the students failing in this exam. Now this is the reason why you are failing. This is the reason why you are not going up to the mark. I am also going to include some of the marking schemes, some of the marking reports, and some of the examiner's comment in my SBL workshop. The examiner criticisms topic. Examiner is also criticizing each and every question. An examiner is also giving a detailed review on each and every question in the entire paper. This question was very well attempted. This question was attempted very worst by the students. And majority of times examiner says that the most easiest question was kept at the end, and this question was very worst attempted question. Now the question is, why is it the case? Because of time constraint. You're attempting this paper in 4 hours, but at the end you're not able to clear this examination just because of the fact that you tried attempting the entire paper and you are left with the last portion of your examination. Okay, guys, I guess there is some emergency, so we can't continue the class right now. However, I'm going to give you the recording for this class, and extremely sorry for the day, but I'm going to give you the recording for this class, and we will be meeting in live class tomorrow. We'll be meeting in live class tomorrow, right? I'll be providing you recording in around half an hour. I'll be providing recording you in around half an hour, but make sure that you kindly go through the first day recording, and we'll be meeting tomorrow at the same time. Extremely sorry for the day.